Mr. Thanksgiving.
How often is it when people see you in the streets, you just start blurting out ad-libs?
It'd be at restaurants. You gotta love it.
Brackets on brackets. We tryna get to these brackets. We flipping through all of these hits and these classics. Sometimes don't know which one to pick when that happens. We mixing and matching. We listening and trying to get brackets. Complex brackets.
What's up, everybody? I'm Brian B.Dot Miller, and welcome to another episode of Complex Brackets. Today, we're welcoming a good friend of mine and a pioneer of the mixtape era. In fact, he got so hot off his mixtapes that federal agents raided his studio in 2007. But even the feds couldn't hold this man down. Today, he's reinvented himself into a music mogul, helping shape the careers of current superstars Lil Uzi Vert and Jack Harlow. Welcome to Complex Brackets, the living legend, Mr. Thanksgiving, DJ Drama!
Super incredible intro, bro. Congratulations on the show. Happy to be a part of it.
Congratulations on everything that you got going on. The album from Jack Harlow, that's what they all say, one of the best of 2020.
Good look, that means a lot coming from you. I know you're a tough critic, especially on the album side.
Absolutely. You know, you're also one of the greatest mixtape DJs of all time, and the Gangsta Grillz mixtape brand is arguably one of the best. So we compiled this 16-seed bracket to finally get to the bottom of which one is the greatest. I mean, it was kind of tough, but take a look at it, Drum, for yourself.
It's fire.
It's a lot of history right here, Drum. I mean, I have my lock and my sleeper pick for which I think is going to go all the way. So hopefully it matches up to yours.
Let me see. I know what your sleeper is, and I know what your winner is. I'm gonna say it at the end to see if I'm right, though.
All right, there's a lot of history. Let's get it bracking. The first round, we have Lil Wayne, Dedication 2 against Rich Boy, Bring It Back to the Block.
This is a no-brainer, without question. This is obviously a number one seed,
right,
and number 16 seed type of situation, because it's really not even fair. Salute to Rich Boy. I ain't seen my brother Rich Boy in over a decade.
It's been a while.
Dedication 2, hands down. That year in 2006 too, that mixtape was so big that it wound up on the New York Times top 10 albums of the year.
Wow, that was a
crazy.
big moment.
For sure.
Dedication 2 goes on to the next round. The next matchup we have Ghostface Killah, Fish and Chips versus Freddie Gibbs, Babyface Killah.
If I'm not mistaken, this was around the Jeezy era for Gibbs.
Yeah.
This tape is one of those. This tape, surprisingly, I learned how much people fuck with this tape just off paying attention to the culture and the comments and everything. So I'm gonna give it to Gangsta Gibbs on this one for sure.
Gangsta Gibbs, next to blow. Gangsta Gibbs moves on to the next round. Next up, we have Gucci Mane, Birdprint, the movie 3D versus Chris Brown, In My Zone.
Yeah, this is the first tough matchup. Shout to Guwap on this. Shout to my man Green Lantern too.
Yes.
Legendary DJ. He came up with the name for the Birdprint. Just
right.
Creative and was talking, and I remember taking it to Guwap, and Gucci loved it. That was a strong tape for me and Wap. This was really when he had in a frenzy.
But we also have to take note to Chris Brown, because this was the first R&B Gangsta Grillz too.
It was the first R&B Gangsta Grillz, and then this was at a time and a space where people had some doubt for Breezy, and we dropped that tape, and it was just the impact alone was legendary. I'm gonna give this to Breezy though.
Wow. And my zone goes to the next round. Didn't see that one coming, Drama. And that's what it's all about. Surprises, some shocking upsets. Next round we have Fabulous. There Is No Competition 2. The Funeral Service goes against Jeremiah, Late Night versus with Jeremiah.
Another tough one. Jeremiah, Late Nights could arguably be the best R&B Gangsta Grillz.
It spawned the Fuck You All the Time song.
Definitely.
But we can't forget about Fabulous. He had Badia. He had For the Money with Nicki Minaj. Beamer, Benz, and Bentley also was on there.
Working with Fab for me was Fab was already a mixtape legend. Shout out to DJ Clue. When we first did the first There Is No Competition, it was at a time and space where, I remember in the back of the Vibe, they had questions. And one of the questions was, Fab's There Is No Competition 1, is it so slept on? Does that mean the Gangsta Grillz era is over?
Wow.
And I remember when we did the tape, I noted back to that. I made a comment about that. And There's No Competition 2 is the strongest of the series. Like you said, it spawned some records off of this tape. And this was also at an era when the mixtape started going from the street albums to then started treating it like an album. It got re-released in some ways and everything. So I'm definitely going There's No Competition 2, the funeral service.
There's No Competition 2 goes to the next round. Next up we have Young Jeezy, Trap or Die versus Rich Homie Quan. I promise I will never stop going in.
I'm glad to see Rich Homie Quan in the bracket.
Yeah.
Incredible tape. I promise I will stop going in.
He had walkthrough, blah, blah, blah.
Crazy. I mean, what is there to say? It's not Quan's year right now.
Right.
He just didn't end up in the brackets. If I need to say anything about the tape on the other side, then
it's kind of a classic.
You don't belong here. This is one of the mixtapes of all mixtapes. Trap or Die, Young Jeezy, without question, is going to the next round.
Next round, Young Jeezy, Trap or Die. I mean, that was kind of unfair. Sorry to Rich Homie Quan. But the next one we have, Meek Mill, Dreams Chasers 2 versus Lil Wayne, Dedication. This is where it's getting spicy, Drum.
This is definitely spicy. This is spicy.
Just to refresh your memory, Dream Chasers 2 had Amen, Burn, Racked Up Shorty.
Ooh.
Those some heavy bangers right there.
And I ain't gonna lie, one of my most creative 1-2 talks, rants, the intro and the second song that I've ever had on any mixtape. That definitely was some potent work. Dream Chasers 2 gonna have to rock for a minute.
Wow.
Dedication 2 is still here, obviously. So, Wayne fans, they're not gonna murder me too crazy. We still got D2 on the other side, everybody. Calm down. Let Dream Chasers 2 taking this round.
Well, Drum, before we go to the next round, is Dedication 7, is that still happening? What's going on?
Of course it is.
Just gonna leave it at that, Drum.
Dedication's never stopping.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that, Drum. Next up we have Little Brother, Separate But Equal versus Pharrell, In My Mind, the prequel mixtape.
These are two very important mixtapes in the Gangsta Grillz series because of what they meant and the type of artists that both Little Brother and Pharrell were at that time and what Gangsta Grillz represented to the streets, to the mixtape game. And for me to do two projects of this assortment was the title Separate But Equal alone is classic for presented for that tape. With that being said, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have to go In My Mind, the prequel mixtape.
In My Mind. Going to the next round, Pharrell. I love that. It was a good day freestyle from Pharrell on that project.
I gotta shout out my man Don Cannon on that too, because he ghost DJ'd that mixtape.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cannon.
That was all his work.
Nice. Next up we have T.I. Down with the King versus Lil Boosie, Streets Is Mine. Now this is a tough one, Drum.
Think this is a tough one?
I think it's a tough one.
Streets Is Mine was dope because it still was, is a premiere tape for me and for Boosie, and like when he was, on his way to be scorching.
Yeah. Down
with the King means a lot to Gangsta Grillz because it was, one of the very first ones that got massive and, major attention, across networks and, just on another level outside of the streets for me. And it was like, it was career changing for Tip. Mm-hmm. It was a battle and a beef at the time that was hot between Tip and Flip. Respectably, Flip's career was never the same after that. And so I'm gonna have to go Down with the King.
Down with the King. I'm down with that too. I also believe that was the first time we heard You Don't Know Me. It was on that project.
It definitely was. On the very last song on the tape is a freestyle, a acapella that Tip gave me, and I had some Canon beats, and I put Tip's acapella on the Canon beat and made it into a freestyle. Jeezy wound up hearing it sometime when we were playing in the club early in those years, asked about the beat. Canon, gave him the beat. It's now a record called Go Crazy featuring Jay-Z.
A classic, another classic from the generation now, Camp. That's all these guys do, man. And look at this board, Drum, after the first round. That's a lot of history right there. Drum, is there any mixtapes that we've missed? I mean, considering you do have over 140 Gangsta Grillz mixtapes.
Wow. Oh my God. So it's damn near impossible. Gucci the movie, I think the first one is a critical one. So many classics, respectively. God, where do we even begin?
All right.
Wouldn't even know where to start. It's a lot we're missing. We're missing True Religion.
True Religion, 2 Chainz.
We're missing Cam. It's unnameable.
Do you think anyone's gonna be upset at us for this bracket?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're gonna be upset with you guys, and they're gonna be upset with me. Can't ban the Snowman's not on here. It's competition, you know. It's hard. Every great team doesn't make it to the bracket.
That's true. But well, we're here at the second round. Let's get into it, Drum. Are you with it?
Absolutely. Let's get it.
Let's go. Second round we have Lil Wayne Dedication 2 versus Gangsta Grillz Babyface Killer.
That was getting interesting.
It's very interesting.
Dedication 2 is like UNC.
Right.
You know, Tar Heels is, most years there. They're getting to the Final Four, so I'm gonna let that reign keep going. Dedication 2.
Dedication 2 and Drum. Freddie Gibbs, Babyface Killer. That was my sleeper pick.
That was your sleeper?
That was my sleeper pick.
Oh, interesting. I should have known. No, it makes sense. I wasn't thinking. You're right, though. I should have known that was your sleeper pick. I thought your sleeper was going to be Little Brother, separate but equal. Shout out to my nigga Gangsta Grillz, though, man. Congratulations to him. Still killing the game.
Absolutely. Next matchup we have Chris Brown in My Zone versus Fabulous No Competition 2, The Funeral Service.
Tough. Either fan base is coming for me.
Team Breezy?
Team Breezy is strong on that internet, bro. Both these tapes, every year I get reminded of the anniversary.
For me, when I listen to In My Zone, what highlights to me is Chris Brown's rapping abilities. He was melodic, and he showcased that he was able to hang, on the mic.
Yep, and he was showing he was real crafty. Like, that was really around the beginning stages of him really showing his bar work and everything. I remember being impressed.
Absolutely.
Damn, this is a tough one.
You might have to flip a coin, Drum.
This is a tough one for sure. Yeah. I ain't got no coin on this one. That's funeral service.
No pressure, Drum.
A lot of pressure. Fab's gonna kill me.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go In My Zone.
Wow. You're gonna have your own funeral service after this one, Drum.
Oh, he's gonna murder me.
Wow. Now we have Chris Brown in the Final Four. Next matchup we have Young Jeezy Trap or Die, Meek Mill's Dream Chasers 2.
Hell of a matchup, though. This would have been a legendary game if it would have been in March Madness. Trap or Die. If Dedication is Chapel Hill, Trap or Die is Duke. So
yeah,
Trap or Die keeps going.
Trap or Die keeps going. You can't stop the Snowman neither. Next matchup we have Pharrell In My Mind, the prequel mixtape versus T.I. Down with the King.
The Gangsta Grillz series wouldn't exist the way it does if it wasn't for Tip. I think that Tip gave me the opportunity to work with an artist to really create the type of street album that I was watching the blueprint happen other places, specifically in New York City. Like when we made that tape, I was really following the footsteps of what Fifth was doing and Who Kid and Green and those guys. So that tape is always legendary. Tip is always legendary to the Gangsta Grillz series. With that being said, In My Mind really raised a generation. Like, In My Mind is one of those tapes to this day that I still meet a lot of people that talk about how potent that tape was, just to their life and to the culture and to what it means to those worlds meeting each other. So I'm gonna go In My Mind, the prequel.
Wow, I was not expecting that drama. There we have it. That's our Final Four. Now, before we go into the Final Four drama, I want to know, who do you want to do a Gangsta Grillz mixtape with that you haven't done yet? Is there still a wish list?
There's definitely some special ones out there. I'm gonna tell you one. I'm gonna definitely tell you one that is for me feels good to do and excited about doing, and is a B.Dot Gangsta Grillz.
Whoa.
That really brings it full circle for me. I feel like I cannot complete the Gangsta Grillz mixtape series without doing a B.Dot tape. Yeah, so shout to the roots, man.
Black Thought, you heard the man. Let's get to it.
Before we go any, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Are you good? Is everyone good with the In My Zone going instead of There Is No Competition? I'm having second thoughts. But I guess this is what happens in the brackets, huh?
Everybody can't go. Now we're going into the final four, though, Drum, with Lil Wayne Dedication 2 versus Chris Brown In My Zone.
That's an iconic matchup, man. Weezy versus Breezy. Final four.
I didn't see this coming.
You ain't see this one coming?
I didn't see this coming.
What'd you think was gonna make it?
I mean, I have my lock, but I didn't think Chris Brown was gonna go the distance.
And with that being said, you know, Team Breezy, like, we made it to the final four, baby. shout to Breezy. Jack Harlow, already best friends, you know. Go stream it right now. But without question, Dedication 2, the Gangsta Grillz series, is going to the finals.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, Breezy. This is where the buck stops for you. Lil Wayne Dedication 2 goes into the final round. And now we also have Young Jeezy Trap or Die versus Pharrell In My Mind.
I like this final four. I just think at the end of the day, when we're talking final four, when we're talking March Madness, you know, everybody wants to see the number one team against the number one team in the final. You know, this is where In My Mind goes to sleep. Young Jeezy Trap or Die.
Trap or Die, you're going to Hollywood, baby. There we have it. The drama. My lock is still alive, FYI.
Your lock is still alive?
My lock is still alive. Here we go. Final round. Lil Wayne Dedication 2 versus Young Jeezy Trap or Die.
I gotta go get a coin, man. Yo, I gotta get a coin. What can I do? I think when it's all said and done, you know, it's still gonna be the conversation. When it comes to Gangsta Grillz mixtape series, for sure, the argument is always Dedication 2 versus Trap or Die.
Let me ask you, Drum, how often do you bump these mixtapes?
These two a lot. These are definitely gym workouts still to this day.
Okay.
For sure. This is definitely motivational music. I still listen to Trap or Die and get chills.
Yeah. That intro alone is arguably one of the greatest of all time.
One of the greatest of all time. This is a tough debate that's going to go on for time. Trap or Die, arguably, too, one of the greatest Gangsta Grillz of all time. And if some other year there's another bracket and they make it back, it could definitely go on and win another year. Dedication 2 is just, you know, it's a flawless mixtape in so many ways. Like, I was in a motherfucking zone, and Weezy he was from another planet.
Right.
And just for what the Gangsta Grillz formula became, even, you know, Trap or Die is a precursor to Dedication 2 in some senses, and it got figured out. I'm gonna say in this conversation for this year, I'm gonna give it to Dedication 2.
Wow! And there goes my lock. Dedication 2, the greatest Gangsta Grillz mixtape of all time by DJ Drama.
It's just my thoughts, man. Just my thoughts. Who am I, though? Seriously, who am I?
Can they send a hate mail to Generation Now at...
Yo. Flood B.Dot's Instagram with it. Hey, I want to know your thoughts, though.
For sure. We're definitely going to get into that. Drum, thank you taking the time out to break down some of the greatest mixtapes of all time with us on Brackets. Any final words?
You know, salute to you, B.Dot. Congratulations on the What's Brack, and shout to Generation Now, man. Everybody out there, you know, stay tuned, man. Watch what come next.
And there you have it. I want to thank my guest, DJ Drama, for joining us to finally settle the debate on which is the best Gangsta Grillz mixtape of all time. Or does the debate still live on? Hit us up using the hashtag ComplexBrackets and let us know. Until next time, I'm Brian B.Dot Miller, and let's get it brackin'. Peace.
Complex brackets.